This video is focused on the steps you can take to land that design internship you've applied for, and some of the experiences and advice that I have learned along the way. So what I have with me here is my portfolio, and this is probably one of the most important things you might be asked to bring with you on the day of your interview. So what I have is an A3 book or carrier, and that just has various different portfolios that I have worked on over the past few years. This is just sort of one page, and it just shows some sort of research I've been working on, and the first page is actually the most important page, so that's something that I'm reflecting back on at the moment, like how I'm going to incorporate maybe my sketches and things inside. So that's also a good note to make when you're designing it. So that's really important, and it's good to have different portfolios inside so you can show the different skills you have, whether it's digital or physical. So if you're using Adobe, that's an amazing skill to use when you're making your technical drawings. And then physical, and it's just showing your lineup. As lineups tend to be used on the digital iPads, it's always great to show the capabilities that you have with paper and pen, and to show that you are capable of doing some sketches. If it's a design internship, that revolves around that, and they have those sort of procedures when they design for their upcoming collections, so that's really important. Second thing I would say is take initiative. I think that's really important, to not wait for what is asked for you, but to show that you're really keen, and whether that is bringing an extra project in your portfolio that you can show them. At one point I showed a design internship that was just focused on design and not textiles, but you know, I had the chance to give them also that angle to show that I have like multiple different skill sets that I can bring to the table. And also, if you've got a trial shift, which could be another option when it comes to having the different application steps before getting that offer. So I think it's really good to bring your equipment there, even if they have their own things. It just shows that you're really taking initiative and you're not waiting around, and you just really want to be in this position and just grasp as much understanding and skills through that placement-ship, whether it's 3 or 6 months, whether it's a month, whether it's a few days, just to show that you're ready to learn and bring something to the table. So I found that through making applications and applying for internships, you have to really continue to email and get involved in contacting them. And sometimes you may feel disheartened, but one thing to note is to never feel sort of, don't take it personally. Don't take it personally, because if you think about it, how many applications that they have to go through. And what I've learned is that there could be a designer or the HR team that are flicking through the portfolios, and they'll just see the first page and make their decision up from that. So really spend time thinking, what do you want from the design internship, and how are you gonna like wow them? So yeah, not to be disheartened, and just to keep, you know, following up, showing your interest, keep in contact, keep on top of things. You know, maybe write things down. I was told by a really good guy that I have some sort of like mutual connection with, and he's doing amazingly, and he gave this really good advice, and he said, lay everything flat on the table, write down the design internship that you want to work for, and which ones you've applied for, which ones you've emailed, which ones you need to follow back. you know, send that email first thing in the morning on the, you know, on the Monday, and just, yeah, it just really goes to show, do you really want to be in this industry? Do you want to land that design internship you've wanted to work for you know, a brand or a designer or a couture or a house or a independent label or a sustainable label, whatever you desire. I think it's really fun. Yeah, I think networking is also a great thing, you know, meeting people at events, or really learning how to socialise, to articulate yourself and to word things out. Sometimes when I talk, things sort of just jumble, and that can sometimes have to do with like being tired, but also it's nice for you to be able to get your message across. So being able to, you know, learn how to talk, how to express yourself, how to discuss, how to listen, how to have your own opinion, you're your own person, really goes a long way, and people notice those things, which is not to say that you can't sort of improve, or you have to be extroverted, you have to be introverted. It's just to say, like, just come in your like full self, and that's more than enough to show on the day of your interview or trial shift. So those are sort of the main things I would say. And yeah, I'm at a stage now where I'm in that process, or, you know, accepting offers, declining offers. So I thought it would be really nice to share some of those experiences and tips I've found along the way, and hope that I get to help someone, and that I get to look back at this as well and see what sort of worked, what hasn't, but things, yeah, that I've acknowledged overall. And I think it's an exciting time, and of course it can be also quite overwhelming, but I think the one thing is to note is that there's always space for you to learn and for you to grow your skills. So where you can, you know, spend some time on your own learning about different fashion collections, different brands you like, the research about the company that you want to apply for, learning about fabrics, textiles, trims, learning about pretty much everything, because I had seen this image on Instagram, and it was showing, I think it was 2 squares or like 2 balls, and there was and it was basically saying that when you choose to want to learn, you realise how much, you know, you don't know, and that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It's like, it's all about perspective here, and where you get to grow and flourish and find new skills and learn, and, you know, not necessarily stick to one thing. That's incredible. I mean, there's just so many things that sort of can cost discipline and help you in one way or another, that I think it's a big blessing to have to go through these sort of ups and downs of the design internship, because you're not always gonna get a yes, and that's fine, but it's like whether you're gonna really stand up for yourself and say, this is what I have to offer, and this is what I'm going to not stand for, you know, whether that's like rules and regulations, or whether a design internship covers lunches or travel and things like that. What do you stand for, and what will you accept, and what will you you know, have to consider? Because I think it's really important to really strive for what you think aligns with your values. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and I think I am going to let this one end here. Yeah.